If you have questions, Hamda, you can also ask. Which of the following is an example of a synthesis reaction? Synthesis reaction is also called combination. So whenever we have two particles and we are combining them together. So here, hydrogen and oxygen, they are combined in H2O. This is a synthesis reaction, whereas the next one is a decomposition. The choice number C, whenever I see oxygen, CO2 and H2O, I call it only combustion. And the last one is decomposition. I have CaCO3 breaking into CaO and CO2. Now, choice A is a synthesis reaction, but also I can call it combustion. I can also name it or classify it as a combustion reaction. Combustion. Hello, when we move to other examples, I will tell you when you cannot call a synthesis combustion. The next question, which reaction is a single replacement? In a single replacement reaction, you always have an element added to a compound. As you can see, element added to a compound. Now, this element, if it is a metal, we will check if it can replace the metal in the other compound. If it is a non-metal, we will check if it can replace the non-metal in the compound. Now, if let's say X is a metal, if X is more reactive than A, then X will replace A, and you will see instead of AB, you will see XB and A alone. So this is the single replacement. So here I have always use color coding in the quiz. I have Ag and NO3, silver nitrate, and I have sodium and chloride. So chloride is the green and silver is the red. Sodium is the blue, nitrate is the yellow. I had red with yellow, blue with green. Now red and green, blue and yellow. This is a double displacement, not a single. Double replacement. Now, choice B looks like this one. This can be as X, and this is A and B. So zinc is replacing copper in the SO4. So here we had zinc, and now it is copper. So this is the single replacement. The other one is a synthesis and decomposition. Now, you will not get too much questions to predict the product, but probably maybe in the end of term exam. And these kind of reactions, magnesium plus hydrogen chloride. So we did also this in the lab. Magnesium can react with the hydrogen, so it takes the place of hydrogen and it becomes Mg. Now, from term 1, we were studying that Mg belongs to group 2 and Cl belongs to group 17. It's a -1. So we put the 1 here, or we just ignore the 1. And the 2, we erase it. No, the 2, we erase it and we put it over here. So the formula would be MgCl2 and hydrogen. Hydrogen is part of the 7 diatomic molecules that you will always write it with 2. I remind you with these molecules, H takes 2, N and O takes 2, F2, Cl2, Br2, and I2. Now this needs balancing, and we put a 2 here. So in case this question came, instead of magnesium, I can give you another choice, for example, calcium. So that would be CaCl2. Or, for example, I can change the Cl and make it Br. So you will change this into Br. The rest will remain the same. Now, metals at the top of the activity series. Note that the activity series will be given to you in the quiz. So the metals of the activity series are classified from the most reactive till the least reactive. So the one at the top are the most reactive. Yes. And in case this option came, reactive means it is very likely, not less likely, very likely, it easily can lose electrons to react. So the mistake in the choice C, they said are less likely to lose electrons, and that's not the case. The very reactive element, they are more likely to lose electrons. That's why they are reactive. So they react more readily, means more easily with water. And when we say water, we mean the H in the H2O. And when we say acid, we mean by this the hydrogen in the acid. Other questions? Which metal can displace hydrogen from a HCl? So you have the list given to you in the exam. Hydrogen. You look where is the hydrogen. You can select any from the list above. Any from this list can react, but anything from down cannot. And in this one, gold is below hydrogen, copper and silver below hydrogen, zinc is the one that will react. Again, you are not supposed to memorize. This is given to you. Okay? Next. Um, can iron displace hydrogen from HCl? If iron is above hydrogen, then yes. And indeed, it is above. So, yes. Why? Because it is more reactive than hydrogen. Next, in a reactivity experiment, just like the one you did in the lab, metal reacts most vigorously with water. So, um, which metal? So it reacts vigorously. So if you have the list, all of these are above hydrogen, but you choose the highest, okay? And the one top of the list is potassium. One second, I think I have. Yeah, it's over here. If you can see, potassium is at the top of the list, and here is hydrogen. So anything from here can react with water, with anything containing hydrogen. Okay? So now the one that mostly react is the potassium. Next, sodium. Next, etc. As you can see in the list. So here we choose the potassium. Okay, now arrange potassium, magnesium, and copper based on reactivity. Potassium, magnesium, copper. Copper is the least. So they want the arrangement to be based on reactivity. So from highest to lowest. What are the products of NaCl reacting with AgNO3? So these questions we will more practice on them in the coming week. So this is a double displacement reaction. And as I said, in the double displacement reaction, the positive ion in the first compound will replace the positive ion in the second compound. So you simply, instead of writing an ACl, you are going to write AgCl, and instead of writing AgNO3, we are going to write NaNO3. So in this case, the correct answer is A, AgCl, NaNO3. Moving on. Now, in the reaction of BaCl2 and A2SO4, the anion, this one, so let me write it, BaCl2, so Ba will replace the Na, and the Cl will replace the SO4. So instead of writing Ba and Cl, now we will write BaSO4 and NaCl. Just like that, you switch them. So let's see the question. What do they want? The anion Cl minus, yes, it's going to go with the sodium. It will not combine with the barium. It's already here. Before the reaction, it was with the barium. Now, form as a precipitate, we will check this, is released as a gas. No. Now, form a precipitate. In the solubility rules, which will be given to you, you will check and you will see in the solubility, it's written that any compound containing an A without any exceptions is always soluble, and soluble means AQ. And any compound containing the ion Cl minus is soluble, means aqueous, unless Cl combined with mercury, which is not the case, combined with silver, which is not the case, and combined with, I think, lead, which is not the case. So the correct answer is A. Now again, this is the same question continued. What happened to the SO4? As you can see, the SO4 now, it combines with, oh, this is a different one. Oh, no, this is the same question. Combines with barium. Any questions? Now, in a simulation of reaction types, which element involves a synthesis. I'm going to move faster so that I can solve as much as possible questions. Synthesis means the combination. This is the correct answer. Again, synthesis. Oh, this is a repeated one. Now, I have a diagram here given to me. In the diagram, always try to use letters if the diagram is hard for you. Oxygen and hydrogen. So 2 of H2 and 1 of O2. And I have 2 of H2O. That's a synthesis. The following particulate diagram represents a single displacement element with a compound. Moving on, which type of chemical reaction is presented in the diagram below? Again, I had the green with the white ball, and it's now the white alone and the gray alone. So this is a decomposition. Now, what kind of example is this? Whenever you see oxygen, you put you put the option of combustion. Now, If it is just combining two substances and getting one product, it's a combustion synthesis. But since here we are obtaining specifically H2O and CO2, this is a combustion reaction. Which of the following again is a combustion? Now, synthesis, this is synthesis. This is synthesis, not combustion, because the reactant, none of them is oxygen. One of the reactants must be O2 in order to classify it as combustion. Now, this is a synthesis. However, in this synthesis, I see O2, then synthesis, but also called combustion. Now, the last one, there is O2, so this is a combustion, but not synthesis. So this is just a combustion. So the correct answer is 2 and 3. Again, the equation below is an example of element, compound, single replacement or single displacement. Next, here, A and X, B and Y. Always use color code in the exam, in the quiz. So when you see the colors switched in a double way, that's a double replacement. Next, in the statement below explains, why magnesium is preferred over zinc for protecting underground iron pipes in terms of reactivity. Okay, so in the pipes that are made of iron, we prefer to coat them, to paint them with magnesium and not zinc. Now, I'm just going to show you in the reactivity series. This is magnesium and this is zinc and this is iron. Any pipe made with iron with the days, it will rust. So we coat iron, we paint the iron with zinc to protect it. Okay, so to protect it from reacting. And here, magnesium is much better than zinc. So if I have the option of magnesium, um, we can go for it. Okay, so here. Magnesium is preferred, yes, because magnesium is more, here, choice D, is more active than zinc. Next question. You
choose B.
um oh yeah, B is also the same. Magnesium lose electrons more easily than zinc.
There is
Yeah, B,
except.
yeah. Ah, except. Okay. Yeah. You guys are right. All the sent I didn't read actually. I just looked at D. So except. So magnesium lose electrons means reacts easily more than zinc. That's a reason. Second, magnesium oxidizes. Kamena means the same thing. And magnesium is more active. The only wrong mistake except for it means we have to select what is not correct? The not correct sentence. Okay, thank you. أنا ما انتبهت. I didn't pay attention to the choices. So, magnesium is more active. That's not true. Sorry, zinc is more active than magnesium, and that is not true. So, we take this choice because they want accept the mistake. Using the reactivity series, Okay. Using the reactivity series, identify which of the below will occur. Okay, so I'm going to copy here next to this one the elements from the reactivity series to make it easy for you because I don't want to keep on going with the pages. So from the last page, um, I have potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, and silver. Okay, so when you are looking at metals, you only check the first table. If in the question the given is a non-metal, there's always another list down below, which is F, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Okay, so here, calcium and copper. Calcium is more reactive than copper. Okay, copper cannot replace calcium. It's basically the first choice. Whatever you want to do, the element here must be higher than the one here. Look, Ag is here and sodium is here. Ag can't replace sodium. I'm talking about this one. And again, zinc is here and sodium is here. Zinc cannot replace sodium. Are there questions in this part? Is it clear? Hopefully. Okay. Now, the decomposition. Look at this. Very obvious. This molecule, just one. This is H. Sorry. This is H2O. Higher water. So H2O decomposes into H2 and O2. Decomposition. Q. R is not a decomposition, is a single displacement. P is a combustion. So it's only Q the answer. And the single replacement is the R. Next question. Okay. Yalla, I'm gonna again copy the list given. It's over here. So potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc. There's something I want to show you in this list. Be careful to the list given to you in the quiz. Look, this arrow pointed upward, meaning from down till up, they become more reactive. Whereas this one, it is given in the opposite way. Here is the most reactive, and here is the least reactive. Be careful um, to the list, okay? The way the arrows are given. So let's look first and see which element can replace. So let me just continue this one to give it quickly. Zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, and silver. And the other table, I'm going to put it for you like this. From the lowest sulfur, I, Br, Cl, and F, the most reactive. So Cl, H, and Br. If you look here, there is no Cl, there is no Br, there is only hydrogen. So it means we are looking at this table. Yani you need to find two elements in one table in order to check for the reactivity. So this is Cl and this is Br. Cl can replace Br. So this one, there is a reaction. Cl can replace the Br. Okay, so this one, or Mg and Ag, magnesium and silver. Yes, there is a reaction. If the alone element, if the element standing alone is higher, then yes, there is a reaction. If the element standing alone is lower, then no, there is no reaction. Like for example, Ag and H. No, it cannot react. Br and Cl. Br is lower than Cl. No, it cannot react. Mg and HCl, it can react. خلاص, this one you should memorize it by now. We did it in the lab. Now, Br and Cl, again, no reaction. Just like this one. Hey, hey, are the same example. They just changed H by an A. Are there questions? Is it clear? Inshallah, inshallah. Okay, identify the type. Usually in the exam, in the quizzes, the types are given, written to you. But anyway, to be on the safe side, memorize that we have four types of chemical reactions. Memorize them. You have the synthesis and the combustion. You have the decomposition, single and double replacement. So this is combustion because I see CO2 and H2O and O2 element with a compound. Oops. Oh, I lost all what I wrote. But anyway, you have these answers in your answer sheet. So this is a single replacement. This is a decomposition. This is a combination or synthesis, not a combustion. A compound and another compound. Look, OH is here, Cl is here. So this is a double replacement. And one second, one second. Okay, sorry. So the next one is a decomposition and synthesis. Okay, now again, write if the following there is or there is not a reaction. Again, you need to use that list. So we have potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, and silver. So let's see. Nickel, magnesium chloride, which is given in form of a formula. Nickel and magnesium chloride. I need to, I don't have it in this list. One second. So let me get a table with nickel just to locate the nickel. I'm trying to find. So here's one. Nickel comes below iron. Nickel comes here. I checked another table from the online. Nickel is here. Okay. So in this question, can nickel replace magnesium? No. Can magnesium replace silver? Magnesium is over here. Silver is over here. Yes. Next. For each of the following pairs in element, underline the one that would replace the other. Calcium and tin. I need an element containing, I need a table containing tin. Okay. Um, Here's one. Tin is right below lead. Here. These two, they come here. There's tin and there is lead. I think you got the idea. So which one is higher? Calcium, tin, bromine, and fluorine. So I think I did it. Oh, that table got erased. So I take the one that is higher, and F is higher than bromine. Aluminium and potassium. Aluminium, potassium. Potassium will replace zinc and sodium. Sodium will replace. Am I confusing you or it's okay? It's clear? Next, identify the classification of the reaction being described. Synthesis, combustion, decomposition. So these are the definitions, and it's a must to know these examples, these definitions. A chemical reaction occurs when a substance reacts with oxygen. Plus, you can stop. This is combustion. And combustion releases energy because whenever I burn something, there's always heat coming out and light. Combustion. A chemical reaction that involves the change of ions between two compounds. It didn't say an element and a compound. Two compound like A, B, and C, D. It exchanges the ions like A is being exchanged with C or B exchanged with D and can produce a solid or a gas or a liquid. This is a double replacement. These are the three types of products that I can obtain in a double replacement reaction. A chemical reaction in which two or more substances react to yield a single product. One product means a synthesis, whereas one reactant, it's a decomposition. Okay? A chemical reaction occurs when a single compound breaks down. That's a decomposition. Okay. Now, the questions from here are going to get a bit harder. So I'll try as much as possible to simplify them. A chemical reaction that occurs when the atom of one element replace the atom of another element in a compound. In a compound. So I have an element and a compound. So when this replaces the other one, that's a single replacement. Now, moving on to the questions of the second lesson. In a chemical equation, which of the components is a precipitate? Remember, a precipitate means the one that has the sign of a solid, means a solid formed. This is aqueous, aqueous, aqueous means dissolves in liquid. يعني I cannot see it as a solid. but this sign means that it's a precipitate. So AgCl is the precipitate. Now, net ionic equation. Now, I'm gonna focus on this one, and I will give you the all the kind of equations that we can write from this one. Now, HCl will break down into H plus and Cl minus. Okay, let me write it here because I need more space. So H plus, anything with a plus and a minus, I can also write next to it the AQ. So I'm done with now the first part, this plus. Now I'm gonna split this one and this one, the sodium and the hydroxide ion. I'm done with this. Now you should remember that whenever I have H and OH, the product formed is H2O, and H2O is liquid. I told you in class, when you have a solid, you check the paper. When you have a liquid, memorize it. The gas, we didn't do it yet. So H2O, you are not allowed to split it into H plus and OH minus once you are writing after the arrow. Yani, when we want to start writing the products, I cannot anymore split into ions, yani plus or minus, anything that is solid or liquid or gas. Only the aqueous. So plus this, Na plus and Cl minus. Okay? What I wrote right now is named as the complete ionic equation. لأنه I spread and I split all the compounds and I am showing their ions, but I cannot do that to the liquid, solid, or gas. طيب هلا the ions that are playing role in forming the H2O are the one that you write in the net ionic. يعني net ionic, if I remove the Cl minus from both sides, and if I remove the Na plus from both sides, I will only have H plus and OH minus giving H2O liquid. Heidi, I call it net ionic. So what I wrote over here is complete ionic, and right now what I am writing is a net ionic. طيب Cl that did not change before or after is still the same. Na before the arrow and after the arrow still the same. I call them spectator ions. So I will write in green this and this and this one and this one, اللي هني the same one, are called spectator ions. يعني they're just there doing nothing. Okay? Now, another example. Let's look at it. K plus, sorry, H plus, no more H plus. So definitely this is going to play role in the net ionic, H plus. Cl minus, still there. So Cl minus is a spectator ion. K plus, I still see it. K plus is a spectator ion. Still there. OH minus, there is no more OH minus. معناتها OH minus is playing role in the net ionic equation to give H2O liquid. Okay? So Home, they are asking about K plus. It's a spectator ion. Again, another question. An AOH, I'm going to show it over here. An A plus, I spread it. Aqueous, يعني I break them. I write the ions. An A plus, OH minus. I'm done with it. The second one, هلا I'm moving on this one. Plus Cu2 plus and Cl minus. I'm done with this part. Now, again, NaCl, Na plus and Cl minus. There's a 2 here. And Cu. This is solid. I cannot split. Okay? طيب. This one, still the same. And this one, still the same. So what I am highlighting are spectator ions. So the one in yellow, I call them spectator ions. And what I will highlight in green plays role in the net ionic equation. So if they are asking me to write the net ionic, I will say OH minus, Cu2 plus, giving CuOH2 solid. Okay? Here, there's 2. So the question, which of these are spectator? Oh, spectator, yellow, the one I highlighted in yellow, يعني Na plus. Oh, it's A. Are there questions? I hope that this part is clear because it's not easy. Now, the equation includes only the particles that take part in the reaction. Yani they mean by this the particles that changes from AQ to أو solid or liquid or gas. So these ions take part in the reaction. So these ions are written in what I call net ionic equation. Okay. Next, when nitric acid solution HNO3 is added to solid calcium carbonate. Now this we will be it's not we will be doing it also this week, but I am going to explain it. Whenever I have an acid and a calcium carbonate, okay, so CaCO3 and HNO3, a reaction takes place. Definitely a reaction takes place, but in a reaction of acid with a metal, specifically calcium carbonate, we obtain two gases. We obtain one gas and one liquid. This is the only reaction where I get gas and liquid together. Okay, so here I'll show you how this changes. I need just space and I'm gonna write it over here. HNO3 plus CaCO3. I'm gonna replace these two. So it becomes CaNO3 with 2. ليش؟ لأنه this is H plus, this is NO3 minus, this is 2 plus, and this is CO3 2 minus. So if I'm placing these two together, it's gonna be like that, NO3 minus. So I need to put 2 over here. Okay? And I am replacing and I'm placing this over here. يعني it's gonna become like that. H plus and CO3 2 minus. So the 2 نكتبها هون and the 1 we ignore it and then we erase them. So I get H2 CO3 aqueous. هلا there is a rule that I will also mention it in class إنه specifically this compound هذا الكومباوند الوحيد only this compound will undergo منه stable, it will undergo a further decomposition automatically. بس يتكون when it is formed it will decomposes into carbon dioxide gas. So C, look at it, هيدي CO3. So أنا I'm taking منها C و O2, so بيبقى لي 1O and H2O liquid. So هون instead of writing this one احنا we tell the students you can automatically write that this equation will also give me CO2 gas and H2O liquid. I will mention this again in class. So نرجع للسؤال, and I hope that I am clear in this one. When an acid, nitric acid, is added to solid calcium carbonate, there is a reaction and I will obtain CaNO3 aqueous, but I will get liquid water and carbon dioxide gas. So hon, they're not talking about water, they are just mentioning the CO2 gas produced. Okay, other questions? طيب. Now, the last question, the net ionic equation for the reaction below. net ionic. طلع. هاي ما راح تعطيني net ionic, يعني this and this one, they are not participating in the net ionic AQ بعد AQ, and this one AQ, still AQ. So you remove them and you copy the equation again, بس مع ال charges. So you put the charges. So OH and H and H2O to finalize this one. OH is negative, aqueous. H plus belongs to group 1, aqueous and liquid. When you are writing your answer, if you do not write the states, you lose marks. These are required. If you do not write the plus and minus, you lose marks. They are needed. You need to write the minus and the plus. If you do not show the L, you lose marks. So in this equation, don't miss anything. كمان في نكتبها هيك. I can write it in this form. It's okay. Okay. And that's it, the end of our revision session. Okay, أنا وقفت الريكوردينج in case you